Good morning, party people. Yes, I am still in the San Jose area. I am getting some stuff done on that 850R. You know, we have a couple of mods that we're making. Yesterday, went to put the intercooler in. I don't have the piping for the intercooler. The radiator wasn't quite manufactured right. I got an all aluminum radiator. So, be working on that today. Hopefully get that thing running today. I thought it'd be running yesterday, but ran into that snag with that radiator not built right. That kind of set me back. So got some stuff done on the inside. Want to jump on that as soon as I can today. So hope you enjoyed today's clips. Thanks for watching. Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert. That's me. This video contains things that I encounter throughout the day. If for some reason I complete a task and you would like to see the details, you can click on the link in the description area below. This video also contains tips and tricks that I learned throughout the years. I plan on leaving this video accessible for about 30 days. After that, you can view it through my Patreon account. Thank you very much for watching. Here we are, folks, kicking off the Tinker Day down at the RV parking facility. We're going to really work hard to get this car running today. And I'm probably going to leave it on jack stands to get it rolling and shift it in gears and make sure all that stuff works. So let's get cracking. One of the first things I want to do is finish up the wiring under the hood here. The other day we ended up fixing some of the wiring, getting the transmission service, getting the oil changed on the engine, getting that exhaust manifold corrected, getting all the timing stuff on and corrected, and was about to bolt that turbo on when we fixed some of the wiring over there. This car is missing the sprayers. I got a couple, so I guess I can hook that up. Then I'm gonna change the throttle cable. Now, we did not have the shifter boot plate for the car, so I'm gonna check one more place in my car, see if I have one. Then we got to hook up this ground wire on the back of here and find the bolts to bolt this heat shield on and just keep cracking. This car is going to get a tune, so we need to replace these fuel injectors sooner or later. But let's see what we get into before we get to that. Let's fix this wiring over here on this battery area. Made my daily stop to Home Depot, make sure I had everything I needed to put this car together. So I got some of these connection lugs for these red wires. I got this harness out of the junkyard the other day for those chewed up wires there. And we already put the ground wire in. I do need to get a bolt out of my little stash to secure that, and we can keep pressing on. Then I need to take this PNP switch harness apart. Got the PNP switch wire harness done. I'm gonna go ahead and take that up. Got some more damaged side marker lights for chewed up. I'm gonna rewire those or reconnect those anyway. I got the hood blanket installed. I got the squirters installed. For some reason, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 round ones. All the rest of them are shaped like a football. Next, I'm going to hook the battery up and check the mileage. And then I'm going to install the turbo. And then I'm going to probably clear out the gas tank. And the turbo is in. I put the heat shield on, tightened the heat shield bolts on since the turbo was out. Then I hung the turbo on the studs, went down below, tightened up the lower 2 studs, then tightened up the upper 2 studs. Then I put the drain tube on since the axle is out still. That went on easy. Then I tightened up this top coolant line going over to the coolant reservoir. Then I tightened up the back coolant line. Then I installed the oil line. But before I set the turbo in place, I plugged in this coolant hose here. So I swung the turbo over toward the driver's side, backed it up, plugged that hose in. I also hooked up, you see that red vacuum line over there. I hooked that up on the turbo before I put it in too. So it'll be easy for me to hook the BCS up to it, and I clamped it. So now I just need to put some vacuum lines on the blow off and the wastegate actuator, hook that stuff up to the BCS over there, and I fixed the BCS wires. So we should be moving right along. I also installed the exhaust manifold studs. Now I'm gonna go and deal with the fuel tank, clean that up. Now I'm assuming this fuel pump is bad. It looks like the original pump. It's got the red wire. It's been sitting out here probably with some kind of sour fuel in it for 6-7 years. The owner has a new pump to go in, so I'm actually going to try to activate this pump before I take it out, because if this pump will pump out that old fuel, that's a better thing to do. So I'm going to jump the relay and run this thing dry, and hopefully it works. If not, I'll just throw the new pump in, pump it dry, and then put fresh gas in it and pump fresh gas up to the fuel rail, and then close everything up and get ready to start the car. Basically, these 6 wires are the positive cable going to the fuse box. Volvo decided to do 6 strands instead of 1 big strand like they have going over to the starter and alternator. So they thought it was a better idea. Either one of these break, it doesn't kill the deal, but you want to get as much of them as you can to be in good shape. So I'm gonna brush those with a brass brush, put them all together, and put them in one of these lugs. Group size 35. These cars are supposed to have a 47 or 48. And then you can use the new sizes, which is 8.6. I never seen a 35 in here. Sometimes I see 21Ls or something. Anyway, it's a little taller than normal. Doesn't quite lock in the battery tray like it should, but it should be okay. I got these wires hooked up on here. This positive cable stretched a little bit. I'm going to use my Solano College valve stem remover. Remove this valve stem, put a hose on it that'll feed into a bucket. Then I'm going to turn the key, see if the fuel pump works. If not, I'm going to jump the relay, see if that makes it work. If that don't make it work, I'll replace the pump and pump whatever gas is in the tank out of it. I'm also turn the key and see if it shows how much fuel is in the tank on the level. Throttle body linkage was in the way of getting that valve out of that fuel rail, so I removed those 4 10mm bolts. Now I have space to reach in there. You got to remove that bolt out of the vacuum tree, lift the vacuum tree, move it over a little bit so that you can get that bolt right there. Well, that does not look good. Doesn't look like it have any gasket on there. Also, I heard a little air hiss when I pulled that out, so maybe it still had a little pressure on it. Let's go ahead and hook a hose up to it, drop it in the bucket, and turn the key on, see if we get fuel. Well, we actually got a squirt of gas. So I'm going to jump the relay and pump all the gas out with the old pump. Then I'll put the new pump in. This car must be a 96 because the fuel pump relay has a November 28th, 1995 relay in it. And somebody's been pushing and pulling relays in here because the housing of this panel is busted. See those cracks in it? So it's cracked all the way up around the J relays. Somebody's been pushing and pulling on relays in here. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and turn the key on. I've turned the driving lights off. This thing should pump gas. And let me find a big bucket first. I don't know how much gas is in it. We got the line on the fuel rail. We got the bucket under there. We got the oil out of the way. We got the brake fluid out of the way. Let's go turn this key on. I turned the headlight off. The driving light, that screw was 12 o'clock, it was on. See how much fuel it got in here and see how much we can pump out. Where's that key at? Hope it's not that much. Yeah, it says it's close to empty. That's good. Let's go see if we're pumping gas out. We should be. Yes, we are. Pumping it out into that bucket. So the fuel pump still works. Look like it's trying to run out already. We want that thing to run out of gas so we can put fresh gas in there. Either it's running out of gas, or the car leaning's jacking it up, or the pump's not that great. Fuel's not as dark as I expected it to be. Usually that stuff is tarnished like the stuff in the bottom, but it smells more like polyurethane than it does like fuel. So we'll let that pump until it's empty. Looks like we're just about out of gas. Just getting a couple little squirts left. So I'm gonna let that run about 5 more minutes till it quits squirting. Disconnect the fuel pump and go in there to replace it. I'm pretty sure I got a fuel filter too, so I'll need to replace that as well. Well, I'm done for the day. I was trying to put that fuel pump together, and the little retaining clip that holds the sock on the bottom of the pump popped off, landed down in this dirt somewhere, and I can't find it. So it's sitting me down for the day. I gotta go try to buy another one of those. Hopefully I can find one to fit on the pump, or I'm just out of it. I'll try a hardware store first, then I'll try a auto parts store, buy another sock. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.